So we get asked all the time to talk a little bit about projects we're working on, past projects, current projects. And in this case, we tend to do it through what we call green case studies. We selected the color green as the title because green is the color of the environment. It's the color of renewal and transformation. And in this case, it's even more appropriate because it's the color, literally, of the product in this company that I'm going to talk a little bit about, and also a company that is trying to help the environment. It's Lime Transportation Company. In just about every major city, you can find Lime scooters. Yes, they're lime color green, and you can find them so that they are easy transportation for people. Hop on, get to where they need to be. It doesn't mean having to drive a car, pay for parking, all of those things. And I certainly see them all over my city. Well, we got a call from Lime, and this is the beauty of where you get to know people and relationships. And so I didn't have a contact at Lime, none of us did on the team, but rather someone who knew our work referred Lime to us, and they asked us if we'd come in and do some work around management. And so sometimes we come in and the management work is part of a larger project. We might be doing strategic planning, we might be doing executive coaching of the CEO and the management team, we might be working on a revamp of the business model. So in this case, we were asked to come to Lime because they actually were thinking about their employee resource groups, which are also called ERGs. Sometimes we go into companies and help them create their ERGs, but in the case of Lime Transportation, they actually already had a robust set of ERGs. And so we were asked to come in and to speak and work with a couple of the ERGs that had come together. Most times they're separate doing their work, but there are times when they come together to do a group project. In this instance, it was helping team members to better prepare for their performance review process. So we actually created a toolkit. We helped the team members prepare, help them do some scenario planning. But the real issue here was getting team members to understand not to wait until it was time for a performance review to actually be prepared for a performance review. And so it was great working with team members who had been there a number of years, some were fairly new, and watching them in action. What is also interesting is when you're working with an ERG, you're not seeing people actually doing their work, but you're hearing them talk about their work. You're hearing them reflect on their work, but you're also hearing them reflect on their aspirations, their goals. You're helping them to think through what's going to be their success measures, or might also be called their key performance indicators. You're helping them to think about ways about their work that they never even thought was important to think about. Sometimes they're so focused on the work in front of them at that moment, team members forget about work they did 6 months ago and why it's important to the performance review. So we actually created a toolkit for the Lime ERGs, and we actually walked them through and did scenario planning, answering questions, executive coaching, and helping them to be ready for the performance review process. We also helped them to think through what they might write in advance of their performance review to talk a little bit about their work, encourage them to create a portfolio, explaining what a portfolio is, how you manage that portfolio ongoing, so you're not scrambling at the last minute to put together the work you need to be able to talk about yourself and your influence on your projects or your team so that you're ready for your performance review. It was so much fun working with the ERGs at Lyme. It was so wonderful to be invited in, and loved the opportunity to be able to be in service to them and to help them to think through not only that current performance review process, but really giving them tools so they would be better prepared for any performance review process going forward. So thank you to Lyme for the invitation to be of service. Excited to be a part of the work of the employee resource groups, the ERGs, and really, really glad to know that it was of help to them and that they felt better prepared and they were going to use the tools going forward.